There are times when we watch a creator's work and we regret not watching the other works of the same creator. It was one such moment for me while I started watching Farzi, and the series that I regret not watching is The Family Man. My guilt doubles when I realize it has been available in Prime Video all the while. But what started this craving is the recent Amazon web series Farzi by Raj and Krishna Dasarakotapalli, popularly known as Raj and DK. For obvious reasons, after watching Farzi, I was curious about their previous work and I realized why their earlier creations went unnoticed. Their filmography looks underwhelming in spite of having a critically acclaimed Shore in the City. But everything changed with The Family Man, and they continue the momentum with Farzi. This is going to be a spoiler-filled review, so watch it at your own risk. Hello everyone, welcome back. Here I am after a long gap but with a compelling reason, and that reason being Raj and DK's Farzi. The social media has been filling with buzzing from various quarters on the series. I have been disappointed most of the times with the so-called trending movies and series with heavy star casting. So I proceeded with caution. As you all know, it takes only the first 10 minutes to sniff out a binge-worthy series. I sniffed this out in less than that. How and why? First of all, a plot that can never disappoint. A game of cat and mouse. It is always entertaining, particularly when both the sides are equally smart. To me, that is the most promising aspect of this series. We'll come to the details soon. The next aspect is the screenplay. We have witnessed capable directors taking up promising scripts and failing to deliver due to poor screenplay. Farzi is not one of those. Having said that, let's jump into the plot. Farzi brings the stories of various characters together seamlessly. The first story is about the lead character Sunny, played by Shahid Kapoor. I have a lot of respect for Shahid's immense talent and commitment. The story revolves around Sunny, who is an orphan but is lucky enough to be found by his maternal grandfather, along with his orphan friend Firoz. They grow up in Mumbai with dreams of becoming rich someday while lamenting with self-pity about the inequalities in the society. Sunny, like his grandfather, is an artist who struggles to meet the ends through his artwork. His grandfather owns a printing press that runs a magazine in losses while facing the inevitable when the moneylenders give an ultimatum to pay all the dues back in 30 days. Sunny takes up to himself to find a solution and save his grandfather's press. Out of desperation, he resorts to making quick money by printing counterfeit currencies. After some initial hiccups, he, along with Firoz, comes up with a fake currency that is as good as the real. What starts as a means to save the press goes on and on as Sunny finds new justifications to continue doing it one last time. That is when Mansoor, played by Menon, a criminal who is in the business of counterfeit currencies, finds Sunny. Sunny starts working for Mansoor. On a parallel track is the story of a not-so-straightforward officer, Michael Vedanayagam, played by Vijay Sethupathi, who leads a special task force to curb counterfeit currency. In his team is a young and ambitious analyst, Megha, played by Rashi Khanna. They are on the hunt to find Mansoor. How their stories collide and what happens to each of these characters is what is narrated by Raj and DK in a manner that is not just entertaining but also hilarious in most part. The treatment of the characters is dealt with an ease that deliberately avoids the plot from getting too serious. Particularly, the way the character Michael is scripted contributes to the vast majority of the lighter moment. It is difficult to say whether the script made Michael's character funny or Vijay Sethupathi made it look funnier. Credits to Raj and DK for having Vijay Sethupathi speak Hindi in his natural South Indian accent and avoiding the stereotypical caricaturization of South Indian Hindi accent popularized by the Bollywood dimwits. The real show stealer is Menon as Mansoor. His character, again, is not the ever-menacing villain kind. It is also scripted with humor and vulnerabilities. If we leave aside the business he is in and watch Mansoor as a person, he is as human as anyone else is. It is heartwarming to see some scripts like this coming to the rescue of such talented actors like Menon, who never got the fair due of recognition in mainstream movies. The other standout performances are delivered by Bhuvan Arora as Firoz, Amol Palekar as the grandfather, Chittaranjan Giri as Yasir, and Zakir Hussain as the minister Gelot. Their performances are as crucial as the lead cast and they deliver. Rashi Khanna as Megha has at last got a meaty role to play. She easily slips into the role of an aggressive and ambitious analyst whose ways are as crooked as Michael's, but with the heart in the right place. The casting director deserves an award. While I'm all admirations for Raj and DK, I also noticed their admiration for some of the great works of this genre, and that admiration comes out in not so subtle ways in some occasions. I'm talking about their admiration for Breaking Bad. I could see similarities in some plots. It was the myth there, the perfect drug. It is fake currency here, the real fake. It was Walter White's cancer there. It is the grandfather's business here. Both start for personal reasons, but at some point in time, the greed and genius inside takes over. Both the genius crave for acknowledgement and appreciation. In fact, Sonny goes one step further and starts leaving breadcrumbs for the police to pick up and follow him. In a way, he challenges the police to catch him if they can, which kind of gives us the clue that Sonny knows the eventuality that he is mentally prepared for the day he would be caught, and the world would know his genius. After all, what good is your genius if the world doesn't know you are the one who had the police chase their tails for years together? Gus sets up the state-of-the-art lab for Walter White, and Mansoor does it here for Sonny. It is Jesse there, Firoz here. Walter White falls out from Gus and so does Sonny from Mansoor. All of these cannot be coincidences. Don't get me wrong, Farzi is in no way an imitation or adaptation of Breaking Bad. I assume this is Raj and DK's way of emulating a role model, which I believe is perfectly alright. I also found some vague similarity in the way the music of the opening credits sounded, which kind of reminded me of the opening credits of Narcos. Quite effective indeed. What I did not like are certain cliches which were perfectly avoidable. For example, Sonny finds an insider, Megha, in the Special Task Force team and befriends her in a coffee shop. Remember this professor and this officer? And everything goes as per Sonny's plan. How I wish. And guess what happens next? Sonny develops feelings for Megha, as if we didn't know this was coming. And then there are action sequences, the most underwhelming aspect of this series. In fact, there are no action sequences. Even when it happens, it is done so half-heartedly. Without the brilliance of cinematography and editing, the action sequences would have been far less impressive than TikTok videos. The icing on the cake is when Sonny, who never used a gun, takes out all the bad guys single-handedly. Also, Michael's personal life is a track that did not strike any emotional chord with me. The casual approach with which Michael deals his personal issues doesn't help in empathizing with him. Whenever that track came up, I felt like, okay, be done with this drama and quickly come back to the main plot. Either they could have avoided this track or they could have put in a little more heart in it. The season 1 ended on a high, with Raj and DK getting into commitments with Netflix and Citadel. I hope they'll find time to do justice to the next season of Farzi. I am not going to miss it when it comes. A must watch in my assessment. That's it for now. I'll come back with my next review. Till then, bye bye.